Okay.
Roll intro, Brennan.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Knights of the Kitchen Table. My name is Brennan, and I'm joined by Jordan.
Hello there.
And Minty.
Hello.
On today's episode, we'll be talking about our favorite cards from Commander Legends and a little bit about what's going on the channel this week. Spencer, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, Spencer is not here.
Yeah, so Spencer's not here today.
Tardy.
Yeah.
He missed the bell.
Yeah,
He did miss the bell. He's sleeping.
quite the tard. So this Thursday, we have week 4 of our Commander League at 7 p.m. over
If Spencer gets up.
If Spencer gets up at 7 p.m. EST over on twitch.tv/Canada Geeks. And this Sunday, which would be the 22nd, we'll be doing a Commander stream with a very interesting theme. Minty, perhaps you could tell us more about this.
Yeah, we're going to do some political activism because of the current political climate in both the United States and the UK. We're going back to feudal Britain.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the king. And it's just going to be monarchy all the way through. I'm going to play Kenrith. Brennan, you're playing some sort of farmer deck, is that right?
Yeah, Kestia the Cultivator.
Yeah, you're going to be the serfs. And then Spencer is playing some like rogue tribal or like vagabonds, he was calling them, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that's correct.
Like bandits.
And Jordan, you're like the clergy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm playing Ora for cleric, so I'm representing the pious religious side of things.
Nice. So that's going to be a good time. My deck is all built around the film Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail. So every single card is a reference to the film in some way. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a good laugh, I think.
You did every card as a reference to the movie?
Literally every single card, bar lands.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, so some of them are quite tenuous, but I'll give you one here that a lot of them are like shrubbery references, and some of them have to double up. Like there's a load of Black Knights. So, yes, every card.
The Knights of Knee?
Yes, the Knights of Knee are represented by Knights of the Black Rose, because obviously the Knights of Knee really like shrubberies, and Black Roses are parts of shrubbery.
Very
and
cool.
I've got like Roger the Shrubber and Dennis. All the gang is there. So if you haven't got a clue what I'm on about, you need to go and watch Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail as some like revision or
it's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah, they uploaded
it's also on YouTube.
All of their stuff. Oh, is it really?
Yeah, for free on YouTube. No one's taken it down yet, so
really,
you can go and watch it on YouTube. Yeah,
is the quality any good?
Yeah, it's fine. Well, I mean, it was filmed like before I was born, so it's not like amazing quality, but it never was really, was it?
Yeah, I just meant like the upload quality.
Oh God, it's such an excellent film. I absolutely love that film.
This is actually episode 1.
This is
yeah. This is not the pre anymore.
Yeah, we're out of the prologue. We lost the member. He didn't work out.
Yeah, we killed him.
Rip Spencer.
And ate his body.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested, check out that stream. That'll be November 22nd at 8 p.m. EST over on twitch.tv/Canada Geeks.
We're all very excited. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, my farmers are coming for blood, and I have a Zodiac Rooster on the way.
My king is coming for blood, but that's not uncommon for kings. Wow, someone literally, something just literally exploded outside my house.
Interesting.
You live in England.
Yeah, wow, amazing stuff. Live footage of the explosion that happened in my tiny village in Nottinghamshire. There we go. Okay, let's move on.
Nottinghamshire. Do you want to do a hot take on the news? What's happening?
Yeah, sure. I'll look out the window and see what's happening.
There's some farmers.
I can report that there's that.
Is it the French?
I can report it's the French. Yes, it's the French. They're here again.
God.
And they've conceded.
God. Yeah, and they're running away. I don't know whether you concede in battle. I think you surrender, but I could be wrong.
No, it's tactical
I haven't
retreats.
been in many battles, but I did. You don't scoop up in battle.
And play again somewhere else.
Yeah, well, we'll scoop up. We'll scoop it up here. Yeah, that's all right. We've seen enough.
Yeah, so do we want to get into our main topic?
I guess so. Oh, what else are we doing on the channel, Brennan? What are we planning to do in the future?
Well, we plan on releasing our podcast on Wednesday on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Right?
That's a surprise. Yeah, okay, Wednesday's fine. Yep, cool.
Or Tuesday.
No, I think Wednesday's good. Wednesday gives me a bit more time, so we'll go with Wednesday.
But yeah, so the podcast should come out hopefully every Tuesday on all podcast platforms that Anchor provides
Tuesday
for free.
again now.
No, that's the audio, and then the YouTube video.
Oh, the audio. Yeah, fine.
The YouTube video will be on Wednesday.
Yes.
And that way,
Lovely.
it'll be relevant for me to have said that on Thursday we're doing this, and on Sunday we're doing this.
You guys are doing a great job.
Great.
Yeah,
well, we're doing a terrific job.
And that's
Cool.
it. I think.
When? What about the? So we did something special yesterday. You had like a box opening. When are you planning on putting those videos out?
Today, I think.
Oh, cool.
Well, my box opening I released yesterday, and then the pack opening video will be.
Right, yeah.
The
You haven't seen the
opening
box
video?
opening yet.
Yeah, under
Pack
5
opening
minutes, man.
video.
You got to check it out.
It's very impressive.
New world record.
Yeah,
New world record. Yeah.
but yeah, we have a pack opening video with it's me and Minty and Donnie from Filthy Casuals and Spencer. And yeah, so I think that'll be up on Monday, so it'll already be out. So check that out on youtube.com/The Canada Geeks.
Let's fucking go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, main
Let's go.
topic: Commander Legends.
Commander Legends. We're fresh on the scene, everyone.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but it's a set. There's 70 plus new legends, and it's fucking awesome. It's so cool. Like,
And we're going to talk about every single one.
yeah, it's our deck or it's our set breakdown. All the combos for every
single
commander.
legend.
All
Yeah.
70 something of them.
Yeah, so
Even the hidden ones.
yeah. Yeah. So I opened a box yesterday, but Jordan also opened a box. So as a new player, how do you feel about this set? Because I think there's a ton of cards that are like just generally useful.
Yeah, I was very excited. It's the first box that I'd actually ever opened, like the big booster boxes. And I came out like a bandit, I'll be honest. I feel like I did anyway. But in terms of the cards that I pulled and stuff, like we had the conversation yesterday, I feel like my little library of competent decks that I could actually build and bring to a table feels like it has expanded greatly as a result of opening all the cards. So yeah, as a new player, it's very, 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 very exciting.
Awesome.
Wow, that's cool. I'm happy that that's happened because I really like the set.
Yeah, like I think it's great for players that are already like invested in Magic that just want to have like a bunch of new partners or new legends to build around, and also just like the reprints and the downshifts of like some staple cards just being more readily available is good for new players as well.
Yeah, and I also like that there's not a ton of commanders that just replace older ones and make older ones irrelevant. Like, there's a lot of new design space and a lot of new commanders and cool stuff that you can do with them. So I really like that they've explored a load of different avenues here. in this set.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we should jump into some of the cards that we are most excited to build around or play with.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to start us off, Minty?
Yeah, I will. Let me just okay. So I've already released a video about a couple of these, or will have by the time this goes up. So my first card, and probably the one that I'm most excited for, is Zara, Renegade Recruiter. So she's a 5-mana Izzet colours legendary creature, human pirate, and she has flying, and she's a 4/3. And when she attacks, you basically get to nick a creature from the defending player's hand, and then that creature is put into the battlefield, tapped and attacking the opponent that you're attacking with Zara. And you have to return it at the beginning of the next end step. So I just think this is a really cool commander. I really like this style of deck where it's like stealing stuff from your opponents, because I feel like it plays well at any table. So some tables you're going to be stealing something really powerful, and other tables you're going to be stealing, something that's less powerful but still impactful for the power level that everyone's playing at. And I really like commanders that do that. And this card is like super unique. There's nothing like Zara. I sort of think it's a little similar to something like an Ilhag, but you never know what you're going to get, and there's loads of different strategies to run with this particular commander.
The fact that it has flying, like it has evasion, so you're probably gonna get in, or you don't have to worry about it really dying. And
that's actually something that I didn't realise when I first looked at the card. Because it's unusual that a human pirate has flying. Like, I was like, what? So I had to actually do a double take when I first saw the card. I was like, oh, but sometimes it's going to get killed getting blocked or whatever, but actually you don't really have to worry about that because it has inbuilt evasion.
Yeah, so
so that means there's a load of other strategies as well, like it carries equipment really well. So you could run Swords of Feast and Famine and other really powerful equipments and strap them to Zara and just get in. People tend to be a bit sus about like having their stuff stolen, so she's probably going to get removed quite a lot, so you're going to need to protect her. But again, there's loads of strategies and loads of ways of doing that in Izzet colours, and it's what commander doesn't need protecting.
I didn't know I had flying either until I just looked at it right now when I pulled this thing. She looks super unique, like as you said. I was talking about you the other day. I feel like it would be good in like a Halden and Paco deck, which is already trying to steal stuff, and then just add insult to injury, because you're already trying to attack with that one anyway. And then if you've got an extra body that you're using to attack to steal stuff, it's just like twice the insult to injury, right? So yeah, like it's definitely gonna bring some animosity to the table.
There's also like multiple ways to hang on to those creatures, or like to
turn short.
Or sack them, and it's
or blink them.
Yeah. And
so like if you're running Thassa, you could blink it and then keep it under your control.
Yeah. Like it's obviously going to be like difficult to play over like VEDH, but you seem to love to play these like stealing people's shit decks over
I do
over webcam.
Well, it worked out quite well with my Zareth San deck,
absolutely,
because I have a load of blanks that I then write on.
But the thing is, like, you can bring this deck to almost any table, and it will be like it should be like fairly easy to identify like which deck is going to have the biggest creatures. Like if you're sitting down with a Goreclaw deck or something, like, okay, I'm going to just do this to this guy all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really.
And sometimes you'll actually actively want the creature back in their hand. Like I could see someone having like a Terastodon in their hand, and you just repeatedly Terastodoning.
Yeah, very true.
Which sounds awful, but hilarious.
Yeah, and you're cheating mana cost as well. I think it's just like a super cool card.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm really, really excited for it.
And you could do Stairs Tribal with it as well, because she's on a flight of stairs.
Sorry, Brennan, I missed that. You can do what with it?
Stairs tribal. That's a good stairs
Oh,
tribal
right,
commander.
yeah, she is on. She's on. Yes, there we go. Finally, a stairs tribal commander we can all appreciate.
Get behind.
All right.
And that bloke in the picture, where behind her, the one with like a weird claw arm, is so hyped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
like
gassed.
really enjoying himself. He's like, yeah, she's got wings.
Yeah, she's walking down the stairs. She has an eye patch.
She's walking down. Yeah, she's just great. The next one I want to talk about then is Arami. I can't say it.
Demir Merfolk guy.
Demir Merfolk guy, who you'll be happy to know is an uncommon. It's a weird one, isn't it? Like it's like I'm not sure what about this card makes it an uncommon. It's super powerful.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of words
I've got a
on
video.
it. Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of like if you're doing paragraph tribal, this is your commander. So this and also it's bloody difficult to explain, I found, because I've done a video on this and I'm in the process of editing it, but it'll be out when this goes out. This commander I think is one of the most powerful, and I'll tell you for why. So you can tap them and exile cards equal to the number of opponents you have, and then target creature card in your graveyard gets Encore until the end of turn. Like, Encore is this new mechanic where you can pay the Encore cost of something, exile it from your graveyard, and then you make a token copy of that creature for each opponent you have. So in a normal game of Commander, that's 3 token copies. So with something like this, let's just use like the base case of a Solemn Simulacrum. Oh, and the final thing about Encore is those tokens get sacrificed at the beginning of the next end step.
Oh, so they die.
So you're looking at
they die.
exit triggers.
Yeah, so you do get dice triggers as well. And the other thing about Encore, this is why it's such a long paragraph, is those tokens gain haste and they have to attack a player, and each one attacks a different player basically. So you make a token copy of the creature for each opponent, and then each of those tokens attacks that player if able. So let's use the base case of a Solemn Simulacrum. So you exile 3 cards, you pay 4 mana, you make 3 token copies of a Solemn Simulacrum, you search your library for 3 basic land cards, put them into play. All of this done with 4 mana, by the way. And then on the end step, or during combat when they die, you get to draw a card because it's a Solemn Simulacrum, and when a Solemn Simulacrum dies, you get to draw a card. So for 4 mana, you ramp 3 lands, you draw 3 cards, and you just generally have a great time. I think that's literally insane.
Yeah.
Just right in that way.
Also, literally, yeah, any dice trigger is nuts with this commander. So
it's kind of like a
I was
Blade
thinking-
of Cells almost.
yeah, it's kind of like Myriad. Yeah, it's very similar to Myriad. In fact, there's a Myriad card called Blood Birth Viper, and that gets super complicated. So it's 5 mana, and it's a snake that has Myriad. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. So if you Encore that, you get 3 token copies of it. Each of those token copies attacks a different player, so triggers Myriad for each other player. So when all's said and done, you've done all the maths, you get 3 copies of the Bloodbirth Viper attacking each player, and potentially you can draw 9 cards for 5 mana.
And maybe deal 12 to everybody.
And to deal, no, it's 9, I think, because I think it's that Bloodbirth Viper's a 3/3.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
It's just literally insane. Any ETB is insane. Any dice trigger is insane. Like Kaiga, the Tide Star, just exile that for 6 mana. 2 of them get legendary affied and die, and the last one dies on the end step. So for 6 mana, you get to steal 3 creatures. Just insane. Like, it might be the most powerful commander in the set. I don't know. Maybe. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculously powerful.
What's the that like 7 mana rogue that like steals stuff? Was just banned in standard. Opposition
Agent of
agent?
Treachery.
Oh, Agent of Treachery.
Yeah, so for 7 mana, you get to steal 3 things. And then on the end step, you could stack the triggers so that the 3 things you've stolen trigger the
Trigger
3
3 times.
Agent of Treacheries.
And you draw
So
9 cards.
And draw
Draw
9
9
cards.
That's gross.
That's insane. So anything like that is just ludicrous. Like, that card, like, this might be the most broken commander in the set. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
And also,
super
like,
cool.
untapped shenanigans, so like Breaching Hippocamp and Deceiver Exarch, both untap your commander and potentially untap mana rocks as well.
You can
So-
you can Dram Scepter it as well. Iso Scepter. Just do it over and over again.
What?
So like you Isochron Scepter Dramatic Reversal, and then you can just do it over.
Oh,
and
yeah,
over
you
and
could
over
just
and
keep
over and
doing
over
it.
again. Yeah,
You'd run out of cards in your graveyard, but
you would, yeah.
that's a good way of winning the game.
But it's about sending a message, Minty.
Yes, exactly. But this card is insane. Literally insane.
Agreed.
How do you feel about it, Brennan?
I like it. I didn't pull one in my box. I really want to, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like an incredible like value engine, and I think people are underestimating Encore because of how many words are in the reminder text.
Yeah, oh my god. I was trying to explain it in my video, and I felt like I did a better job here. But I had to do like 8 takes, because it's just so complicated.
Yeah.
I like the paragraph tribal reference there. I did pull one of these, and yeah, like my tiny little new brain doesn't really know much to do with it, but after listening to Minnie explain it very well, I'm very excited to do stuff with this now.
Yeah, it's just insane. It's a ridiculous card.
Yeah.
And do you know what goes in the deck? My next card.
Yes.
So
Also
my next
say-
card is thanks. My next card is Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, and if my previous card isn't the most powerful card in the set, this probably is, and I include like every card in the set, not just legends, but like this seems to be just an auto include in basically every blue deck, I think.
So broken.
And it's ridiculous. The text on it that says the legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control is... And it's not even creatures, it's permanents. Like, well, why did they have to make it permanents? Anyway, it just means that you can do such broken stuff with this. If it's in your command zone, the like base case is that it's just another copy of any legendary that you run as your partner pairings. So instead of having one, I don't know, Timna, you've got 2. And it means that any token copy that you make of legendary creatures is going to stick around. So this is an insane card. I just think it's so busted.
Yeah, I forget the name of the artifact that does this, but I think it's just like a 5 mana and just says like the legend rule does not apply.
Yeah, I think it's Mirror Hall.
Something
Mirror
like that.
Hall, was that? Yeah, something like that. But yeah, this is 1 mana cheaper. I suppose it's on a creature, so it's a little bit more susceptible to removal. But if it's in your command zone, who cares? You can just keep casting it.
Yeah.
Well, if you make a copy of it anyway, and he goes to the command zone, you still have one.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then, like, if you use populate effects, you can just keep making more and more and more and more.
I'd love this in like a Brooderclad style deck where you make a token copy of a really powerful legendary creature and then make 1 million token copies of that powerful legend.
Well, even just like legendary enchantments and like everything, right? Like there's so much you could do with it.
Insane. It's ridiculous. It hurts my brain to think about it, to be honest.
Yeah,
How,
there's lots of options. And we did
Yeah.
find out yesterday that in draft, if you draft 2 of these, they can both be your commander.
Yes, they can. In draft, if you can have 2 of the same partner in your command zone.
Yeah, and they won't affect each other because the legend rule doesn't apply.
It's just so ridiculous. Oh my god.
Just copy all of the creatures that you control.
God, exactly.
Woo.
No, yeah. So that's those are my well, there's one more actually, I suppose, and this one isn't very powerful. So I'll talk about one that is maybe not very powerful, but kind of I quite like it because it's unusual, which is Bell Borka. I want to say that's his name.
God bless you.
Spectral Sergeant, and he basically is like exile tribal. So it says note to the converted mana cost of each card as it's put into exile, and then his power is equal to the greatest number noted, which is a weird wording, but we were discussing this before the podcast started, that if you exile like an Emrakul, you get 13 power on this guy. He also says at the beginning of your upkeep, you can exile the top card of your library and play that card this turn. Not for free or anything, you have to pay its mana cost, but it's just like a little draw engine in Boros, which is unusual for Boros. So I think this is a interesting card. And I think you just run a load of...
So they've just been kind of nice with draw on Boros lately, like the Zendikar one, the equipment one, I think it's Akiri. She's like for every time you attack with a quick creature, draw.
Yeah. So they're definitely trying to improve, and I think this is another sort of step in the right direction. I don't think this is an insanely powerful card. I just like the fact that it's like a exile tribal commander, which we've never had before. So you want to run like a load of impulse exile draw, so like a load of red impulse draw, and just try and exile as many cards as possible. You could also run like Rest in Peace and Tormod's Crypt to make sure that no one can access their graveyards, and you get all those cards into exile. So yeah,
well,
I really like him.
As well, it's not just I just noticed this as well. It's the converted mana cost of each card as it's put into exile, so you can even like blink stuff, bring it back, and like it doesn't have to stay in exile just as long as it's put there.
Yeah, so if you wanted to,
True.
What'll happen is you'll just put something really big in there one time, and then he'll just be a 9/5 forever.
Yeah. So if you Eerie Interlude exiles, yeah.
Yeah.
That's in Boros colors. You can do that.
Yeah. You could run like a flicker deck if you wanted to.
Ghostway.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is one of the more like unique cards.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this set is like really good at. Is just like having like printing cards, and you look at them and you're like, wait, what does this card do? And then maybe it really speaks to someone, they build that deck.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of build around stuff, isn't there? It's not just you actively know that, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a card that isn't that difficult to build around. Like, I don't know, Azusa. It's just like, play loads of lands. Whereas this you have to think about it and maybe jump through some hoops to try and make it as good as possible. So I like cards like that. I also like that this guy looks really, I said this on when in Brennan's box opening, but I like the fact that he reminds me of a Barocca tablet. Other vitamin C fizzy tablets are available, but he does just remind me of one, and I don't quite know why. I saw his name, it was like Bell Borka, and I read it as Bell Barocca, and now I just can't get it out of my head. And he looks super like fizzy. He looks like a tablet dissolving in water.
He is spectral.
So I like that about him. I like that he gives you your daily dose of vitamin C.
So it works. It works well too, I think, with the new card Promise of Tomorrow, which is 3 mana white enchantment that says whenever a creature you control dies, exile it, and at the beginning of each end step, if you control no creatures, sacrifice Promise of Tomorrow and return all cards exiled with it to the battlefield under your control.
Nice.
So it's kind of a way to double up on your like exile effects, or your creatures. Like if a creature dies and becomes exiled, this guy's power will become higher. Or if you're I was just thinking if you're going sort of like a Voltron-y route, you have Draco in exile, so this guy's power is 16, and then you fling him at somebody with Promise of Tomorrow in play, but then you have no creature, so then he comes back, and then you somehow fling him again.
Clever.
Very spicy. Very nice.
Very spicy.
Yeah,
You
that's
could always
whole 32 damage.
you could run like Altar of Dementia and then run one of the exile graveyard effects, like Rest in Peace.
Yeah.
And then you could keep sacrificing him and keep exiling more and more stuff from people's graveyards.
Oh,
And he would obviously get
what?
theoretically more and more expensive, but he'd always be as big as he was when he left the battlefield last.
What if you did Warstorm Surge as well? So you could blink him, and then he's like a whatever 13/5, and then he comes back in and deals 13 damage or something.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know. Seems
You
cool.
want to get something really big in exile.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
But I wonder if there's some cards. There's got to be some like really janky old cards, like in white, that's like search your own library and exile a card from it.
Yeah, there's gotta be. You could also like path your own guy.
Yeah, you could.
As a ramp spell.
Yes, lovely. Look at all these plans. We're building a whole deck.
Yeah, it works well with Encore.
Yeah, does work well with Encore. So if you're playing against old wavy guy, you can just do cool stuff.
Yeah, weird things. Jordan, would you like to talk about your cards that you're most excited for?
For sure.
Can I just mention to everyone that Jordan put literally every card from the set in his pile of things he wants to talk about?
Yeah, maybe pick 4, because Minty picks 4.
That's fine, I'm picking 4, don't worry. My first one is Nevinyrral Urbog Tyrant. He is 3 generic, white, blue, black Esper, legendary creature, zombie wizard, hexproof from artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. When Nev enters the battlefield, create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token for each creature that died this turn. When Nev dies, you may pay 1 generic. When you do, destroy everything, basically. All artifacts, creatures, and enchantments.
Sweet.
So yeah, as like a new player, I'm sure there's a billion fun things you can do with this, crazy things you can do. I was excited just because they bought Nev from the discard, like gave him his own card finally, and it's been like 20 something years since he got referenced, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of what he does, I'm sure you guys have seen. I can't think of anything crazy, but I would love to hear your guys' opinions on Nev.
He's an interesting card because you don't really want... Well, you almost don't want any of the things that he references in his text in play.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you don't want artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. So, the other things that you could run... You could either... Well, there's a few ways of looking at it, but this is one of the ways that I thought was you could just run a ton of Planeswalkers, a load of Spellslinger stuff.
Mm.
So that means that when he dies, you get the benefit and no one else does. So you get to keep your stuff and everyone else loses their stuff. Yeah. Is the way that I thought. So
yeah, no, that's a good idea. I just thought of something something basic. You could like have everything out, cast like Urian, for example, bounce all your stuff until end of turn, then like pick the stuff that you want to bounce till end of turn. Blink until end of turn. Play Nev, destroy everything, and then at the end of turn, everything comes back again.
I feel like you're getting really into blinking stuff, Jordan.
I really like Blink. That's why I play Yannick so much, because just dumb Blink enter the battlefield and leave battlefield effects.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to counter as well.
So there's one of the most one of the coolest cards like when I first started playing was Gift of Immortality. Which is
yes, that one's great.
A 3-mana enchantment that has a delayed trigger when the creature dies. So you return Gift of Immortality at the end step. So you return the creature when it dies, and then on the end step you return Gift of Immortality. So Nev doesn't destroy it.
Yeah.
So
nice, because he's already dead.
Yeah. So you just
it's already dead.
You wipe the board of everything. Nev comes back, and then at the end step, the Gift of Immortality comes back on it, and it's just.
And then you make a million zombies.
Yeah, so your opponents will have to kill him twice on the same turn to avoid that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it's just like a
That
crappy old like
is,
Theros enchantment, but
yeah.
it makes Nev like virtually
S-
unkillable.
Yeah, super
I
good.
thought that you could sacrifice him in response to his first trigger. So he's got 2 paragraphs of text, right? So in response to his ETB, you could sacrifice him and pay the 1, and then all the creatures would die, and you would just get zombies equal to the amount of creatures that had died, including him.
Yeah,
So like with this, that's the sort of base case that I was thinking, is if you had a sacrifice outlet, you could cast him, and then when he ETBs before it resolves, sacrifice him and make a load of zombies, because he would see everything die. Well, his trigger would.
yeah, yeah. It's a very cool
Kinda
card.
Yeah, interesting card.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential for it, I believe. Also, I like it a lot because my dog's called Nev, so...
Is it really?
Yeah, my dog's called Neville.
That's a good dog name.
Number 2 I wanted to talk about was Amarith Illustrious, another one that seems super powerful that I haven't unlocked any potential for yet. 3 generic green, white, blue, legendary creature dragon with flying. He's a 6/6. When another permanent ETBs under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it shares a card type with the permanent, you may reveal that card and put it into your hand. So, tribal.
Tribal.
It's it's a permanent type, isn't it? So it's like artifact, land, creature, enchantment.
Yeah, so some sort of permanent tribal, or it's just a really cool value engine, I think.
Yeah, just like utility across the board, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's got like a blink theme, so you can blink stuff, and when they come back in, he sees them come in. You get to draw cards. It's cool.
yeah. It's sticking with the whole like Bant theme of like just having really good commanders that just generically do stuff.
Well, also you can
Yeah,
get
I
like
like
a bunch.
this one though.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can get a bunch of stuff on the battlefield in like one turn. Like if your like hand is all in, like if your deck is all like enchantments, for example. Like you put one down, you draw a card, and then you put the other one down.
Yeah.
Oh, you put it into your
I
hand.
well, still, it's
I
like
thought
play a
about this
land,
as like,
play a land, draw a land, maybe.
yeah. I thought about this like artifact storm style deck, because in Bant, which is unusual. So artifacts have this ability to be like their cost reduced by a massive amount. So there's loads of effects that do that, and like Joyra is a good example of like whenever you cast a artifact, you get to draw a card. Well, this is kind of similar. So if you're running a lot of artifacts, you could have him in play, and then play your really cheap artifacts that have all been cost reduced, and then reveal the top. If it's an artifact, you get to put it in your hand, so on and so forth. Run stuff like Riddlesmith and
Mycosynth Lattice. Everything is an artifact.
Microsynth Lattice. Yeah, exactly. And what are the other cards that I was thinking of? Etherflux Reservoir.
Yeah, you could play it with Rebecca, the new white card, and all your artifacts have protection from everything, more or less.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a dragon as well. It's a 6/6, so it can really smack someone.
Yeah, it's got a good body on it.
Yeah, 6/6 for 6 with flying. Seems good. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do with like sort of all of these commanders. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, like this is something I want to bring up as well. Just as a new player, the like the what am I going to say? The range of new commanders it's really just like a lot of options for someone who's getting into it to explore and just try a bunch of different stuff. Like just try what you want, see if it works, try something new, because there's so many different combinations of what you can do. Like you will find something that works and that you enjoy to play, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It makes it so much easier. And then for my third, I'm not going to go and read every single one. I'll just summarize them. But the new monarchy cycle that got introduced. So the red one is Court of Ire. So basically, when they all ETB, you become the monarch. The red one, at the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 2 damage to any target. If you're the monarch, it deals 7. The green one is a ramp one. At the beginning of upkeep, you may put a land card from your hand into the battlefield. If you're Monarch instead, you may put a creature or a land card from your hand onto the
Which is
battlefield.
incredibly broken.
Super
Yeah,
broken.
which is
The white
busted.
one, yeah. At the white one at the beginning of your upkeep, create a white spirit creature token with flying. If you are the Monarch, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying instead. The blue one, Court of Cunning. At the beginning of your upkeep, any number of target players each mill 2 cards. If you're the Monarch, each of those players mills 10 cards instead. So that's pretty gross too. And then the black one, Court of Ambition. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card. If you're the Monarch, each opponent loses 6 life unless they discard 2 cards.
What's amazing about that cycle is I'm looking at the red one, and it's 5 mana, and then I look at the green one, which is arguably way more powerful, and it's only 4.
Yeah.
What the heck? How is 5 mana to deal 2 damage to something every upkeep comparable to 4 mana to literally put a land into play, or if you're on the upside, put a creature into play?
I don't know. Wizards loves green.
The green one is absurd. It's like Wizard design green cards, and then they say, and what we need to do there is just knock 3 mana off the cost, and make it just even more broken than it needs to be.
I mean, like, it's put into play, right? Like, it's not cast.
Well, like if you like Kinnan is like the 2-drop, and then his thing costs 7, and it does the same thing, more or less.
True.
Yeah, well, you get it from the top of your library, don't you? It's like Eureka, is it? Is that the card?
I don't know.
It's like Eureka's 5 mana, I think, and that's put a green creature from your hand into play. I'm sure it is. So this is a repeatable version of that for 4 mana.
Yeah, I pulled one.
Wizards, please.
I don't have a green deck that, like, I'm gonna play it in, because my green deck is, like, Enchantress.
Farmers.
I guess I could put it in Farmers.
It's a court.
Bountiful Harvest.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful.
So we've established the green is the best one. Which we think is the worst one?
The blue one?
You're wrong.
The mill one?
No, the white one is obviously the worst one.
I'd say the white one.
Wait, you don't want a 4/4 angel?
What? No.
Well, like,
white one
no.
sucks. The white. Well, the good thing about the white one is no one's ever going to remove it, are they?
Yeah, you're gonna
so
always get a
crap.
1/1 spirit.
Yeah, like I'll use it. I'll definitely use it, but I don't think like compared
I
to
don't
the
think it's
others.
good.
Yeah.
All right, you're playing
If
spirit.
it made
I think the black-
if it made
the
2,
black-
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. The black one's. Oh my god! When you compare the white one and the green one, it's just so stupid.
Okay, hear me out. You make a 1/1 spirit, right? It has flying, so you can get the monarch back, probably.
Yeah, but it doesn't have haste.
But the following turn. Okay, this what this card says is in mono white, pay 4 mana, draw 1 card, because you're going to be the monarch, and get a 1/1 every turn. That's like
Yeah, that's hot.
that's not bad for mono
like-
white.
That's like almost as good as an ambush viper.
Oh, but that's such a great card.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the box opening yesterday.
the previous video.
Right? Yeah, MVP goes to Ambush Viper. That thing's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Good card.
Oh,
No,
I'll remember that
it's
when we
okay.
draft.
Court of Grace is fine. It's fine, but it like when you compare it to the green one, I know everything shouldn't be compared to the green one, but like
But that's how
The
they
white
make it
one-
now.
yeah, but the white one it's the same mana cost as the green one, and
Mhm.
that's something that just blows me away. Like what the hell?
Well, the
It's
green one
same
is
mana
broken,
cost.
and the white one is
The green one is
not.
completely busted. Yeah. Okay. Let's compare it to the red one. I think it's probably maybe it's better than the red one. 7 damage is not.
And you're not getting 7 damage every turn, right? Like you might not get
No,
7
and red
damage.
red finds it quite difficult to defend, I think. Red's more aggressive than that. So
Mhm.
I actually think that the red one is kind of crappy. But
Maybe if you're playing like Spell Slinger. I don't know.
yeah, but then how do you ever keep the monarchy?
Circle of Flame.
And how do you even get it back?
You put Court of Grace in with it, and you make your 1/1 every upkeep.
yes, exactly. That's it.
Would it be better?
I think
if it made a
I'll change my
Sarah
mind.
Angel.
I think,
Again, if it had vigilance,
obviously, yes, it would be better.
like that much
It
better.
would be good. Yeah, if the creature had vigilance, if both creatures had vigilance, that would be pretty good. So if it made like a 1/1 warrior with vigilance and a 4/4 angel with vigilance, I think that would be better. Well, obviously it would be better, but that would be more on brand and it would be more flavorful because the vigilance would help you protect the monarchy.
So you think that card is better than Court, or is worse than Court of Cunning, which is at the beginning of your upkeep. Any
Yeah, honestly, I think I think denying opponents resources is more useful than a 1/1 body.
I also think that 3 mana is a big difference to 4 mana because I think Court of Cunning coming down on 3, you're more likely to be the monarch on your next upkeep because it's more likely that there's not as many creatures on the board.
Yeah, I do like Court of Cunning.
I want it in Zareth, but then I wouldn't I?
Oh, that would be fun, yeah.
You can mill yourself too.
Can you?
Yeah, target players.
Any number of target players, yeah.
So you can specifically not
so you
mill
can use it
somebody
in graveyard
playing
as well.
deck,
Yeah, I like Court of Cunning a lot. I think the fact that it's 3 mana makes it much more powerful. If the white one was 3 mana, I would be super hot for it.
I just feel like there's more utility with all the others, as opposed to...
Yeah, if the white one was 3 mana, the white one would be super good. But because it's 4, it's a little bit of a hard sell.
Yeah. So,
mind you, the red one's 5, and the red one is probably worse than the white one. I think actually I've changed my mind. I think the red one's the worst.
So white is good. Near Mint Gideon.
White is better than red. I love that my name is named after a white character as well.
Yeah, you just shit on white all the time.
What if the red one costed less?
If the red one
If the red one was 3 mana, it would be absurd.
Yeah.
Because if the red one was 3 mana, you could ping creatures down that you didn't want to attack you, and you could then keep the monarchy to get the 7 damage every turn. And so if the red one was 3 mana, it would be literally absurd.
I mean, it's better than Aladdin's Ring.
Yes.
So... Sorry.
Definitely protects this story.
Cool. Brennan, what's your... Oh, no. Jordan, you've got any others to talk about? Sorry, I put you right on the spot there.
No, should we just get Jeweled Lotus out of the way?
Oh yeah.
So let's do Jeweled Lotus. So everyone knows this by now, but if you've been living under a rock the last week, it's a 0-drop. I've got a lot of issues with this card, but not for the same reasons everyone else has. It's an artifact. Tap, sacrifice Jeweled Lotus, add 3 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast your commander. I'll get my issue with this right now. First, it's spelled wrong. It needs 2 L's. And secondly, it's not a Jeweled Lotus. It's a Lotus Jewel. A Jeweled Lotus would imply that is a Lotus that has been decorated with jewels, when clearly this is a Lotus that has been made of one singular unit of mineral.
All right.
It's a jeweled... No, it's a jewel.
It's a Lotus. It's a Lotus Jewel, yeah.
Or a jewel Lotus, right?
Have you contacted Wizards about this? Or?
Yeah, I think we should get on that.
Well, no, they're like infamous for having grammatical errors in their text, right? So that's not going to change anything.
So ban Jeweled Lotus, I guess.
This card, I have a video about it, and I think it's like, on all seriousness, like literally absurd, and you should run it in every deck.
And everybody should watch that video too.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/.
/
Don't do that to them.
We'll put in the description.
We'll link it in the description. Near Mint Gideon on YouTube, yeah. Just look it up.
Does it come up?
What, Near Mint Gideon?
Yeah.
If you type that in. Yeah, well, yes.
I used to search the Canada Geeks all the time and it wouldn't come up. It'd be a million videos
mine
and
does.
There you go.
So what are our thoughts on this? Broken? Not broken? Do you think it's good?
It's broken.
Bad?
It's busted. I think it's ridiculous.
You think it's busted?
I think it, even in, like, people say, oh no, I wouldn't run it in my 3-colour deck. I think those people are wrong. This is just a free cast of your commander in the late game, and in the early game, completely absurd. Like, I don't see when you wouldn't want to draw this.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that at every opportunity it's better than a lot of other things in your deck. In my video I argue that you could just take out a land and put this in.
Yeah, like I think
And
I think the argument that people have with like the like 3+ color decks, like I understand what you're saying. Like later it just pays for like commander tax or whatever, but like if you have like a 5 color commander that like has Wooburg as the casting cost, you probably don't want this card, but like that's about it. Like I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, I think like honestly, people underestimate the fact that it does like at late game it can negate the commander cost because like sometimes like that's all you need. That's all you need
Yeah.
is just to get it out on that turn,
Most-
and then you can do what you need
yeah.
to do, right?
most decks are built around their commander, and I think having it in play is usually better for most decks than not having it in play.
Yeah.
And if you're just like, you've had, your commander killed a few times and you draw this in the late game, it could just mean the difference between winning and losing.
And I think I think like the people saying like, well, I wouldn't like put it in this deck or this deck, like there's a good chance you're not gonna open one and you just won't have one. And I think like the cost of the card is just like so restrictive that like we may not see it.
It's already dropped.
How much is it?
I think it's like the last I saw it was like $80 now.
But that's still like a real cost.
Yeah, but
for the
like
card,
it's still
right?
an yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's still an indication of where it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think
Yeah,
it's going
like-
to stay at that
No.
price for very long. I think it will be
Like-
because people are going to open the sets so much. It's not when people have said that they've bought one for $150 and they're super happy with their purchase. I think those people are mad.
Yeah.
This card is not
Yeah.
going to be any more than maybe
To put it-
$20 to $30.
Yeah, to put in a bit of context, like I pulled one and then I went to the draft the same day. The guy opposite me pulled one, and the guy in the room behind in the other room also pulled one.
Yeah,
But we opened 2
So
boxes.
that's 3 in the
not
set.
one. I don't know.
Again, like it's just
Like it's a good card. I think like if you want to spend the money on it, then good for you. It's going to create like a lot of feel bads, but at the same time, like sometimes that just happens with like a Soul Ring, right?
yeah.
Like these cards exist already. It's another card that's kind of an auto include in decks, but I don't think it's auto include in every deck because you're just not going to have a million copies of this card to put in every deck.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll be in
That's
your
true.
your best deck or like your 2 favorite decks. Like if you're a spiky player and you want all of your decks to be like fully tuned, or you switch cards around all the time, then that's fine if you want to be that guy. But if you have like one deck that you play that's like very tuned, then you throw it in there, and I don't think it'll be an issue.
And also, if like people are worried about like just using it the once and then or it's just like fluff in their hand, like there's plenty of like it's a 0 cost permanent. Like there's plenty of ways to get it back,
Yeah,
Yeah,
or like plenty of ways to get it back.
yeah.
yeah. The fact that it doesn't exile itself is kind of lame. Like I wish they should have or could have at least done that.
Yeah, that would kill it though. I think that would just be like, then it would be.
It wouldn't sell for $125 a
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, which is
I don't know.
Totally
whether-
fine.
Yeah, it's just,
But I think like the decks that like abuse it, like really abuse it.
yeah.
I'm interested to
Hey,
see
no.
how people abuse it.
Is it better than a? But however, is it like okay? If is it better than a mana crypt? No.
Not really, no. I don't know. It depends on the deck.
No. I can't see this being ever better than a mana crypt. Mana crypt just produces more mana that's more accessible. I think mana crypt's better, way better, and so Soul Ring.
Muldrotha?
Yeah.
Is it better than Muldrotha?
It's not better than a Soul Ring, and it's not better than a mana crypt, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
It's still like an auto include. I think in most decks, you could run it in most decks and be happy to see it in most decks.
Yeah,
So
it's better in certain decks.
Like I'm going to run it either
It's
way.
valuable in any deck.
I think we probably need to do like a whole nother podcast on whether we think fast mana should be allowed in the commander format, and whether we think it's healthy for the commander format, and whether it just leads to variance winning.
Yeah.
Like just being beaten by the variance of the game.
Shortest
which
video
is always-
ever.
I feel bad.
No, get rid of it.
You don't think? Yeah, I think well, Brennan, I think I probably agree.
Make 2 formats. Make CEDH where all that shit is legal, and then EDH where you want to have fun.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, but I'm not gonna
We're gonna edit out this entire section because we're over an hour.
Everything we say from now on is being edited out. Brennan, you haven't even talked about your stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, so
go ahead.
I'm gonna lump 3 cards together. They're all going in my Shibraz flying Economander deck. So we've got Kangi, the Sky Warden. It's a 5-mana Azurius 3/3 bird wizard. He has flying and vigilance. When he attacks, attacking creatures with flying get +2/+0 until end of turn, and when he blocks, blocking creatures with flying get +0/+2 until the end of the turn. So, yeah, really good in any sort of flying tribal deck. The original card had feather counters and really liked birds. It's a super powerful card if you're in an attacky Azurius deck that likes flying, which you should.
The fact that it's got vigilance is...
Oh, and vigilance,
really good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I should probably change Shibraz to be this guy, but then Shibraz is a flying shark, and this guy's just a flying bird man. Strictly worse.
Strictly worse. No, I think he's not as good as Shibraz, but he certainly is very powerful. I think the Anthem, just pure damage, is underrated in Commander, and I think the Anthem effect is very powerful.
And Wizards as well has been printing these really weird draft uncommons that just are lords for flying.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few of them, and they're all in that deck. So you can play 1/1s and not worry about it. And yeah, you can.
I like to put it in my Alayla deck.
Oh yeah, that'd be great actually.
Oh yeah, that'd be really good.
Yeah, because all your fairies get buffed then.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So the second card going in the same deck, Kangi's Lieutenant. It's a 3-mana, 1 white bird soldier with flying. It's a 1/1. Whenever it attacks, attacking creatures with flying get +1/+1 until the end of the turn. So another flying lord when it attacks. But it has Encore for 6. And yeah, so you'll make 3 copies of it attacking different players. It'll give all your creatures with flying +3/+3 till the end of the turn. And you just run people over.
Wow. Yeah. And flying is basically unblockable. Most of the time you can get in at least one player with flyers.
Yeah.
If you
flying
have
is so
flyers.
underrated.
It's really, really underrated.
The first time we played Economander, I played Shibraz, and I killed every single player in 40 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, so flying is good.
Very good.
My next card, going in the same deck, Jesus, Essior? Wardwing Familiar?
Essior.
How would you say it?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Essior.
So it is a 2-mana, 1 blue bird. Shocker. It's a 1/3. It has flying, and it says spells your opponents cast that target 1 or more commanders you control cost 3 more to cast. And it has partners, so you can partner it up with stuff. Yeah, it's going in the same deck.
You can partner it with itself, and then everything costs 6 more.
Yeah, so when people want to lightning bolt your Essor, it costs 7. Isn't there a card that is that? It's 7 mana, deal 3 damage, draw a card.
You'd know about it.
I'll link it to you after the recording.
Do it. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is another interesting sort of flying. Well, I guess not necessarily flying, but cool lord that just adds an additional layer to things that people have to deal with on your board. It's super good in Shibraz because he gets so gigantic that people want to kill him, and if you have this guy out, then it's even harder.
Imagine just making a deck that's just a bunch of blue cards that's spells your opponent's cast the target costs whatever more to cast. Just have a bunch of those stacked up, and no one can do anything to you.
That sounds like my kind of deck.
That sounds great.
The only thing that I wish that this had, which would be Flash.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Actually,
it'd be really cool if it had. Well, I I don't want to shit on it too much, but I quite like it. But if it had flash, that would be so cool because you could hold that over people's heads. Like, there's no point in swordsing my partner commander because I've got my other commander to flash in and basically counter your spell.
There's a cool flavor element to that as well because it's a bird. You could just
and
it's like
calling
the bird.
Exactly. Yeah. I like it. I do like it.
Yeah. So those 3 cards are all going in the same deck. 2 more cards that are going in the same deck. Bio Waste Blob, which is an Ooze Lord. It is a 4 mana, 2 green, 0/0. It says oozes you control get +1/+1, so it's a 1/1, I guess. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a commander, create a token that's a copy of Bio Waste Blob. So it continues the sort of theme. I don't know how familiar you guys are with oozes. Well, I guess if you're watching this on YouTube, you've probably seen me play Ooze Tribal before, but they like making copies of each other and just buffing each other up and becoming enormous. And I think that's just a really cool card to add to it.
I like this card in like a mutate deck.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah, like the
So
Huskewed Swarm kind of deal.
Yeah, so if you're running, who's the guy from from the mutate commander? What's his name? Amori, the Ever Playful, or Yumori, or whatever his name is.
Oh, the Ooze commander, the black green one, the Golgari one.
Huh?
Oh, that makes stuff costless.
Oh no, that's Yumori, isn't it? That's the collector. What's his name?
Yeah,
the Ever Playful guy.
Yeah,
I'll put it on screen.
Otrimi.
Otrimi, that's the one. Yeah, so you mutate him onto your Bio-Waste Blob underneath the Bio-Waste Blob, and then you control your commander and you make another copy, and you then give all of them trample. And the other one that I like it in is Volrath, the Shape Stealer.
Yeah.
So if you can make Volrath into a copy of this Bio-Waste Blob, you can keep making copies of Volrath on your upkeep.
Which would die.
Cool stuff. Why would they die?
Because they're named Volrath.
He's not. Yeah, but I don't think keeps his legendary text. I think you can. He doesn't. He's not legendary when he's a copy of something.
Oh.
He just is called Volrath.
Okay, very cool. Okay, next card, also an ooze. It costs a ridiculous 6 mana. Super sad. Like, why couldn't it cost 5 or something? So it is Slurk, the All Ingesting. It's a 6 mana 0/0. Seems good. I thought you guys said all green cards are good. So
yeah, this one is.
It is very good, actually.
This one's better. This one's better than every white card. So.
It is true. And it's an uncommon green card. So Slurk the All Ingesting enters the battlefield with 5 1/1 counters on it. Whenever Slurk or another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control that has a 1/1 counter on it.
Wow.
That's a mouthful.
That is a lot.
And it has partner. So once again, it's going in my Ooze Tribal deck that is like making copies of stuff, and it has 1/1 counters that I'm trying to spread all over the place. And yeah, this card, if you can get it out, is just a beast.
I find it curious that compared to Bio-Waste Bob, that Slurk is a commander and an uncommon, and Bob is a rare.
Yeah, that is weird.
It is,
and costs less.
Yeah. Well, that's why I brought it up. Like when it first got revealed, like because I'm always looking. I play a lot of like janky tribal decks, so I'm always like looking for cards of those tribes in like different sets. So I saw that there was 2 oozes, and one of them was legendary, and I was like all hyped. And I saw it was 6, and it like didn't really do like anything fantastic. Like it.
Just get your Jeweled Lotus out, you'll be fine.
Very true, yeah.
Doesn't cost 6 anymore, it costs 3.
It costs 3. Mechanics.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't just cost 3 anyway, because it's green.
Very true. Okay. And
yeah.
my final card, because we need to get through this, is Wyleth, Soul of Steel, and it's the Precon commander. So it's 1 in Boros for a 2/2 legendary creature, human warrior. It has trample, and it says whenever this dude attacks, it literally says that draw a card for each aura and equipment attached to it. So
Wow.
it's a Voltron commander, but kind of in an interesting way. Like we talked about Akiri briefly earlier, where you get like draw effects off of each opponent that you're attacking with an equipped creature. And I kind of like this guy. I want to just make an aura deck where I just like enchant the hell out of this guy and just swing. And because it is on attack, if you kind of balance it with like auras and like combat tricks, when you attack, you'll get the draw, and then maybe you'll draw into some more combat tricks to do before blocks.
Yeah, or even just like flash auras.
Yeah,
to protect him.
yeah, like Sigarda's Aid or whatnot.
Or just like yeah, exactly. He's cool. He's really cool. I like that his sword is from space.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
I like that they made it a separate card too.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not like
Yes,
the
I like
best
that
card
too.
in the world.
I want a copy of it for my Kelsian deck because the creature deals the damage. So if you have Death Touch, you can ping things.
Oh, it's to any target, the sword? I thought it was just to a different
Yeah.
opponent.
No, any target.
Oh, very cool. But yeah,
I haven't read it that much. I'm interested.
this
in that.
So actually, it's kind of removal because like if Wylan is huge, then his sword will like you'll smack someone for a bunch, and then you can shoot one of their creatures too
yeah.
to really rub it in.
Yeah, so he's kind of like there's a lot of like auras that give like haste, so he can like attack like right away. There's a lot of ones that like give protection or whatever. And I don't know. I think it's like it'll be an interesting build as like kind of an Enchantress deck, but in Boros. And it worked really well with like Tiana, Ship's Caretaker, where if you kill this guy, you get all the auras back at the end of the turn or equipment. But yeah,
Yeah, he seems really cool. I really like him.
and that's my.
In fact, I pre-ordered a copy of the deck already. So.
Oh, nice, good for you. What was the other commander that came out? I haven't looked too much into that.
It's Tatiova, but better.
Oh, it's the land draw card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the most boring piece of crap I've ever seen. Sorry. I shouldn't say that. It's all right. It's
Well, yeah,
you
it's
play
cool.
it, then you play it.
Like if the thing is, like the pre-con decks are sort of entry level decks, right, for newer players, and newer players love
Yeah.
playing big, splashy creatures, and I think that's what that's for.
Yeah, and you need lands to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, still a cool card. That's all the time we have for today. Jordan, where can people find us?
So you can find us on Instagram at the Canada Geeks, the Twitter, which is just at Canada Geeks. There's no Twitch, twitch.tv/the Canada Geeks, and YouTube is www.youtube.com/the Canada Geeks. Very, very easy to find us.
Yeah, and you can find Near Mint Gideon at youtube.com/
Just search Naaman Gideon.
All right, and we'll be back.
I'm like very funny too. You should come and see.
Yeah,
me.
quite humorous indeed. We'll be back next Sunday. Well, I guess not next Sunday. We'll be back next Tuesday/Wednesday with more.
Whenever.
Whenever it
we'll
whenever
figure
it
out.
uploads, just like and subscribe, get the notifications, all the things.
And share and save.
Yeah, save too. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.